You're 38 years old, you have $280,000 saved. Your financial advisor tells you that you need $1 million to retire. So you do the math at your current savings rate. You hit $1 million around age 58. That's 20 more years of this. But the math tells a different story. You're not actually waiting for $1 million. You're waiting for something else entirely. Most people don't realize the difference, and that's the entire reason they feel trapped. Hi, this is Mark. The $1 million number sounds like a law of physics, but it's not. It's a median assumption built for a median life. But your life isn't median. Your actual number might be half that. And that changes everything. The illusion is that more money is always the answer. The reality is that less spending solves the problem faster. Let me show you how. Start here. What does your month actually cost? Not your parents' month, not your neighbor's month, yours. Most people guess and are wrong by $500 to $1,200 every month. They've never actually counted, so let's count. Housing, utilities, food, insurance, transportation, phone, internet subscriptions, and everything else. When you add it up honestly, you might land on $3,500, or $4,200, or $5,800. That number is your real target. Call it $4,000 for this breakdown, but understand the principle works at any number. Here's where it gets interesting. A portfolio of $600,000 earning 5% annually produces $30,000 per year. That's $2,500 per month. You're not at $4,000 yet, so you need to close a $1,500 gap. Most people hear that and assume they need another $300,000 in saving. Wrong, that gap closes through work. Not full-time work, not career work. Just 6 to 10 hours per week of something you can do independently. Consulting, freelance writing, mentoring small projects, hobby income. 6 hours weekly at $25 per hour is $1,560 per month. That's your gap filled. And now the retirement math works at $600,000, not $1 million. But you haven't accounted for taxes yet. And this is where the psychological weight usually hits people. Here's the reality: when you're drawing from investment accounts in retirement, you're not paying full income tax like you did at your job. You're paying capital gains tax on growth, which is 15% for most people, maybe 20% if you're in a high state. You're not paying payroll tax. There's no employer matching requirement anymore. The money you withdraw is taxed differently than a W-2 income. Some of your withdrawal comes from your original contribution, which isn't taxed at all. Some comes from growth, which is taxed. Some years you might owe almost nothing depending on your withdrawal strategy. Notice how fast the calculation shifted. That's intentional. The people selling you the $1 million dream don't break taxes down this way. They assume you'll owe full income tax on everything, which makes the number seem bigger and scarier. Now add healthcare. This is the part that actually does require real money in early retirement before Medicare kicks in at 65. If you retire at 55, you need coverage from 55 to 65. The ACA Marketplace gives you options. A 55-year-old healthy adult with $40,000 in annual income might pay $300 to $600 per month for decent coverage. If you structure your withdrawals correctly, keeping reported income below a threshold, your tax credits actually make healthcare cheaper. This is real. It's not a loophole. It's design. So healthcare might cost you $4,800 to $7,200 per year, or roughly $400 to $600 monthly. That comes out of your $4,000 budget, leaving you $3,400 to $3,600 for everything else. But wait, you haven't actually tested this. Let's test it. Take your actual life right now, where you live, what you own, how much you spend daily. Now subtract the job. No commute, so save $200 per month on gas. No work clothes. No dry cleaning. No expensive lunches. So save maybe $150 to $300 monthly. No forced retirement contribution, because it's already baked into your earlier savings, so that frees up $400 to $600 monthly. Depending on your employer's match, still feel comfortable. You're at $3,500 so far. Now subtract discretionary creep. Most people in employment have lifestyle expenses tied to the job psychologically. Business travel, stress, spending status displays in retirement. Those disappear. Your food bill might drop by $100 to $200 monthly because you're not buying convenience. Your car insurance drops because you're not commuting. Your phone bill might drop if you're not paying for a work phone separately. You're somewhere around $3,200. Now, the gap is thin but real. That part-time income fills it, or you adjust one area slightly. Neither option is sacrifice, neither option is deprivation. It's just intentional. Let's make this concrete with real people. 2 incomes, both age 41, one child in school. They own a 2018 sedan and a 2016 Honda. They rent a 3-bedroom apartment for $1,600 per month in a mid-cost city. Their current spending is $5,200 monthly. They have $310,000 saved. By traditional math, they need $1.04 million to retire on $5,200 per month at the 4% rule. They're devastated. They feel like failures. They're doing everything right, and it still isn't enough. But then they audit the $5,200 includes $600 in commute costs. That's gone in retirements. It includes $400 in work clothes and appearance maintenance gone. It includes $300 in stress eating and convenience probably gone. It includes $200 in business gifts and miscellaneous work-related spending gone. Suddenly their real need is $3,700 per month. Their $310,000 generates $1,291 monthly. At 5%, they need $2,409 more. One person does 8 hours weekly of freelance consulting at $40 per hour. That's $1,600 per month plus healthcare and minor adjustments. And they're at their target. The $1 million target was fake. It was never real for their actual life. Why does the $1 million number exist? Because financial institutions, investment companies, and retirement calculators are built on average assumption. They assume average spending. They assume average returns. They assume average life paths. But average is not your life. Average is not most people's life. The number gets repeated so often that it becomes real in people's minds. But it's just a statistics. And statistics aren't destiny. They're just data about people you aren't. Here's the heavy part: you can earn $90,000 per year and feel trapped. You can have $310,000 saved and feel behind. You can be on track for a comfortable retirement and feel like a failure. That's not a math problem. That's a framing problem. The frame you're operating in assumes you need $1 million, and anything less feels inadequate. Change the frame. The frame should be, what do I actually need each month? And what's the fastest path to that number? That's a solvable problem. Who actually wins in this scenario? People with clarity. Not people with more money. People with clear numbers. A man who knows he needs $3,600 monthly and has $380,000 saved is closer to retirement than a man who needs $7,200 monthly and has $900,000 saved. Even though the second man has more, the first man is 2 to 3 years from freedom. The second man is 5 to 6 years away. Numbers matter less than the ratio between income and expenses. The people who feel trapped often have 2 income streams they've never calculated properly. One person might be doing freelance work on the side that's worth $12,000 per year. The other person might have a pension or deferred compensation coming at 55. Neither of them has integrated these income streams into their retirement math, so they're comparing their savings to a fake $1 million target. Instead of comparing their total assets and income to their actual monthly need, it's like comparing the size of your retirement fund to someone else's without looking at how much they actually spend. There's another angle here. The people who retire comfortably on lower numbers often made one intentional choice that changes the math entirely. They moved to a lower cost area, or they bought a home years ago instead of renting and own it outright by retirement. Or they chose career stability over chasing raises and side gigs, so they have lower stress and lower lifestyle creep. Or they prioritized retirement savings so hard that their portfolio is 3 years ahead of projection. None of these things are luck. They're structures. You can see them, identify them, and build them into your plan right now. The real paradox is this: the people who feel most behind are often the closest to freedom. They feel behind because they're comparing themselves to a fake benchmark, not because they're actually failing. A man with $200,000 at age 35 and a clear $3,200 monthly target is 15 years from retirement. That's not behind, that's reasonable, that's achievable. But if he's measuring against $1 million, he feels devastated. The number itself is the trap, not your progress toward it. The final piece is sustainability. A $400,000 portfolio with $2,500 monthly expenses is sustainable for decades if it's structured right. Not with 100% in stocks, not with 100% in bonds, but with a mix: 50% low-cost index funds for growth, 35% bonds for stability, 15% cash for psychological safety and opportunity. During market crashes, you don't sell stocks, you draw from bonds and cash. While stocks recover, during boom years, you let dividends compound. This structure survives every historical scenario in the past 100 years. The portfolio doesn't need to grow, it just needs to sustain withdrawals while inflation erodes the real value of what you need by maybe 2 to 3% annually. Your portfolio can handle that easily. You don't need $1 million to make this work. You need intentional design. The illusion isn't that you're failing, it's that the number was rigged to look big. Real retirement math works backward from your actual life, not forward from a median number. That changes everything if this breakdown feels uncomfortably accurate. Stay with me. Subscribe for the next one.